Welcome to the Fight Game. He's Icewater, I'm Puma, and we're going to talk a little boxing today. We're going to talk about some rankings too, the new pound for pound top 10. But there's some fights coming up. Tszyu and Mendoza. I know you wanted to talk about this fight. You got the floor, sir.
Yeah, this is an opportunity. You think about the junior middleweight, right? Titles. So looking at more or less like 154. Well, we know what happened with Charlo losing last week to Canelo, but Tszyu is the guy. He's kind of like the number one guy waiting for Charlo to kind of give him his shot. He's won the title before prior to this, and to fight Brian Mendoza, who's only lost twice, this is a very big challenge because if Tszyu loses, then even though Charlo lost to Canelo, like, why even mess with you? You can't beat Brian Mendoza, right? So this is risky, very risky for him because he has to come up and step up. But I think if Tszyu is very impressive or wins this fight, then it just adds more credence to what he's talking about. Talking about he has to be the guy. And if Charlo really is all what he says, or if he really wants to prove himself again to kind of come off that tough loss, then there's no one else he needs to fight but Tszyu. And prior to this fight, Tszyu was being mentioned by Charlo. Of course, now Charlo is trying to run after and mention Crawford, right? Because that's where the money is. But I think really, realistically, Tszyu, if he wins this, that makes more sense.
So he's the undefeated Australian superstar. Let's look at the tail of the tape. He's 23-0 versus Brian Mendoza is 22-2. He is, when I say this, Tszyu has a 73 or 74% knockout rate compared to Mendoza, who has a 73% knockout rate. Tszyu has the reach. They're both orthodox. They're both around the same age, 28, 29. Mendoza is 29. So I think you're absolutely right. This may not go well or as expected. This might be a hiccup in the road of him getting what he wants. And I admire him for taking a fight like this because this guy, they say he's he's a top contender. He's kind of streaky. But this is dangerous. This is really dangerous. This is putting it on the line right here.
Yeah, I mean, remember he said, you telling me like, I don't know about you. I bet, yeah, you ready to tell the tape. You're like, wait a minute. Okay, now I see what you're talking about. Quit sleeping on Brian Mendoza. He only has 2 losses, and he can punch.
Yeah.
So I hope Tszyu's ready, because that's the thing. I mean, it sounds good. You beat some guys that are a little bit maybe over the hill and whatnot, but now you step into a guy that's a gamer. He has nothing to lose. He has absolutely nothing to lose. And you said the numbers, 74, 73. This man throw his hands.
Yeah.
All it takes is 1 or 2. And it's night. So, hey, you better be careful because Tszyu, if you lose, you might as well kiss the Charlo fight goodbye.
Yeah.
Because why would Charlo mess with you if he can't make any money? And you can say that you're worthy. That's the other thing, too. That's why I think, too, another fight coming on down the line is very dangerous. And that's Demetrius Andre versus, Benavidez. Benavidez, same way. You lose, Canelo can be like, I was just thinking about you because I'm in the PBC. That kind of thing. But then finally it was like, what, not anymore. And I want to say this real quick because I know we're going to get into the rankings, is a lot of people out there do not like Al Heyman. Like Al Heyman's about them dollars. And now they're thinking about possibly signing a new deal with Amazon.
Wow.
And putting some of the top fighters like Terrence Crawford, because they have Canelo for three fights, right? 2 more. Kind of showcasing them or putting them on Amazon. Man, you said you want to about Al Heyman. Well, you're clocking dollars, bro.
Yeah.
Clocking dollars, and he's making more. And imagine putting that on Amazon. They're already making money looking on Amazon. Right. Amazon trying to do everything. They try to buy up everything. They sell you a watch, sell you a coat, sell you a roaster, and give you a fight. They try to
give you football game, whatever you need. Yeah. Just like Lenny on Good Times.
Yeah. My name is Lenny. I got plenty. Question is, do you need any?
All right. Let's go to. I picked this up on Yahoo Sports. There is a senior boxing MMA analyst and a columnist named Kevin. I want to pronounce his name right, ILO or ILE,
Yeah.
and he put out his top 10 or pound for pound boxers, and I wanted to kind of go through it because some of it I agree with, some of it I don't. And I remember we doing our top 10 a few weeks ago, and I'll go through the top 10 and we can debate it. At number one, he has to be up there for what he did to Earl Spence. Terrence Crawford, who is 40-0, 31 knockouts, the undisputed welterweight champion. He had a previous ranking of number one. You have the Monster coming in at 25-0 with 22 knockouts. He's the WBC, WBO super bantamweight champion. He was previously ranked number two and stays at number two. Usyk, who is 20-0, 13 knockouts. He's the IBF, WBA, and WBO heavyweight champion. He is holding steady at number three. Canelo Alvarez moves from number six to number four with a 62-2 record with 39 knockouts, undisputed super middleweight champion. Shakira Stevenson moves up to or moves down, according to his list, to number five. He was previously ranked number four. He's a lightweight contender because his belt was taken from him when he moved up in weight, I believe. Also, Gervonta Davis, Tank Davis, he was previously ranked number five. He's number six now at 29-0, 27 knockouts. Secondary WBA lightweight champion. Tyson Fury, he is holding at number seven, 33-0-1. He is the WBC heavyweight champion. Bivol, 21-0, 11 knockouts. He's the WBA lightweight heavyweight champion. And he was previously ranked at number eight and stays there. Beterbiev is 19-0, and he's the IBF, WBC, WBO lightweight heavyweight champion. He stays at number nine. And Earl Spence rounds out the 10 at number 10. He is the welterweight contender with a 28-1 and 22 knockouts. Your thoughts on this, sir?
It's all over the place. I understand Terrence Crawford being number one now because of the factor that he took on, supposedly the best at that division, right? And he won, so he has won 4 belts, undisputed. So you gotta get at him. The Monster too. Okay, I get it. It's hard for anybody else to kind of show what he's done lately. Usyk at three-time belt winner. I'm a little bit on that. Top 4, I really don't have a problem with. From the standpoint, the one problem I do have, and I've had this for a while, and I understand because sometimes they go off how many belts you got and whether or not they think you up there. But I think one of the things is being a disservice based on who the person has fought and who they, what the record looks like. I don't know how in the hell Tyson Fury's not number 5. I mean,
yeah, you said that before.
Huh?
You said that before.
Yeah, you. I mean, Deontay Wilder is no bum, and he took on. I mean, you think about who Fury has faced and who he beat, and he kept fighting and fighting. And just because Usyk beat up what I call a damaged and not a mentally sound fighter in Joshua, and he was able to get those belts, that does not make him, to me, one of the best pound for pound. He is one of the best, but how you just throw him up there because he fought a damaged fighter? And I know that Fury's going to be fighting coming up real soon, but if he wins that fight, there's rumblings of him fighting Usyk for those titles, and I want to see that fight. And I like Usyk. I think he's a strong guy, a cruiserweight that uses the boxing skills too, very great. But you faced, like I said, I think a damaged Joshua, and you can show me, but I want to see you do the same thing against Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, like I said, love him or hate him, until he showed me what he did against Deontay Wilder on a consistent basis. He's a smart guy. You got to win that fight. Let me just say this, Usyk, you're not going to get that pass running away from Fury like you did against Joshua. I promise you that. You're going to have to bring it. You're going to have to show us that you're that good, and you might be, but you got to show me. Until you show me that, I'm not buying it.
Yeah. Um, I was surprised that he put Shakira Stevenson at number 5. Usually in other list or top 10, Secure Stevenson is around 8, 9, 10. And I think they gave Earl Spence, a little pass in putting him in the top 10 at this particular point in his career. And so I thought Tank Davis should be like at number 5 at this particular point until Shakira Stevenson and him face each other, because I just didn't I like the list, but I just didn't see how Davis could be under Shakira Stevenson based on what Davis has done in his career.
No, I can see that. But I think Kevin is showing us that he loves the potential of Shakira Stevenson.
Yes.
And I think that, that's how a lot of it's done. Either you like the number of belts that a person has, or you like the potential. And Tank Davis I think we want to see Tank Davis against somebody again, right? We want to see him against a quality fighter. It's not really his fault. I think we want to see that. But, Shakira is kind of showing you who it is. I tell you one thing, that one person I am surprised is not on here. I am really surprised that Devin Haney's not on this list at all.
That was one of the question I was going to ask, and why is he off the list? Was it based on his last performance against Lomachenko?
I don't know how he's not on the list. Okay,
Yeah.
I like Earl Spence. I do. I understand that you have the other guys are undefeated. Everybody else is pretty much, except for Canelo, has not lost. I could even see him over under being 10 and maybe Spence being 11.
Yeah.
But I don't know why Devin Haney's not on this list. And maybe that means because Kevin thought it was too close versus Lomachenko with Devin Haney. Mm-hmm. And maybe he thought Devin Haney didn't win the fight, kind of like what I said. But maybe that's it. And you can't be mad at him, but that was significant to me as to why he's not on the list. I mean, I think they give Errol Spence that 10 slot out of respect because he did put it out on the line. And like Terrence Crawford said, hey, if you don't make this fight, it's not happening.
Right.
And he put it out on the line, even though he got punished. That's a real man to me because he could have kept skipping and going, I'm going to go to 154 and I'm going to take these belts with me. But he didn't do that. So, yeah, I think that's what seems like out of respect he's doing it. But I just think that might be a message to Devin Haney, like, you better come on. But then again, to Devin Haney's credit, Prodres, he's fighting Prodres coming up. Mm-hmm. And we're going to find out because you keep setting him up. He said, I'm going to keep setting up. I'm going to knock him down. And we know that if he fights Prodres and wins, you got to think a matchup with Gervonta Davis has to be around the corner. Because I'm thinking Haney will want to fight Davis first before Stevenson. Because the Stevenson fight, to me, is a real moneymaker and a showstopper. So why not take a chance if you think you can beat Davis, and then when you do fight, maybe secure Stevenson another year, year and a half, or whatever, the real top money is there.
Okay. Any other news that you want to talk about in the fight game?
Just things coming up real close. Like you said, we'll be watching those matches. We want people to pay real close attention because we're getting down to the end of the year. And I think they're going to start making some announcements, especially if Al Heyman does finalize that deal with Amazon and a couple other places. Mm-hmm. They're going to come out with some dynamic fights because that's what they want to spend their money on. They want to have people gravitate to boxing. So I think you're going to start to see Canelo has 2 more boxing matches. You might see another Big Charlo, maybe, or you might see Benavidez. So I think they're going to come with some quality fights simply because of the fact that with that money being thrown around like that, you got to have some fights that want to pull people in. So Terrence Crawford sitting there, we're not that. And 2, I know it's a long shot, but Terrence Crawford still campaigning for a shot at Canelo. I think the only way that happens is if Canelo would have to come down and they would have to fight at a catchweight, maybe 164 and 163. And Canelo's at this point, I don't need it. But if it makes dollars, Canelo said it makes sense. You saw how he is. If it makes dollars and people want to see it, I think he would come down to 164. He's not coming down to 154. He ain't coming down to 160 to make you feel good. If you want to bring your butt up to 164 Terrence Crawford, I think he will oblige you. So I'm be interested to see how these developments come up in the next couple of weeks and the next month.
He's Icewater, I'm Puma, and this is a Fight Game.